lot of believers don't know their spiritual stand, their spiritual level, if they are 0.5 or they are 0 or they are below 0 or 0.2 or whatever the case may be. Now this video is to give you a heads up on what you need to do or take into consideration when you are measuring your spiritual growth. Now there is a room for evaluation. The purpose of evaluation is to help you understand where you're going, how far you've been able to cover a certain journey, and if you're actually making progress. Without evaluation, the purpose of metamorphosing will be defeated. So evaluation, constant evaluation is very important. Even in any business, in every structure, vision, there must be an evaluation to see where you're getting it wrong and how you can improve. Now this video is to give that evaluation tips on those that are struggling or probably wants to know their spiritual state in life. The first thing you need to know, or the first instrument you need to use to measure your spiritual level, is number one, the kind of prayers you are praying when you are meeting with God. The kind of prayers you're praying will tell your spiritual level. If you are putting an evaluation on in a scale of 100, what are those prayer points that frequently occurs? Those prayers will just direct you, will give clarity to the fact that your spiritual level could be 0, could be 5, could be 20, or probably could be doing well. So look at the prayer point. An example: a man engaging in too much asking, always asking God, God, I need this, God, I need that, I want this. Everything you are wanting, you are needing, you're just out of 100%, 90% of your prayer point is God, give me, God, I need that, God, I need that. That's a sign that your spiritual level is really low, because when your spiritual level is high, you move from the point of selfishness to a point of selflessness. So when you're always asking God for this, you're always asking God for this, it's looking like you're selfish in your thought, in your reasoning, then your spiritual life needs to be upscaled. So the tools to measure your spiritual life is your prayer point, the kind of prayer point you enjoy praying. That is the first thing you need to watch. So when you're always in thanksgiving, it shows your prayer point is a mature state. You've grown in the word. Your spiritual sensitivity is heightened. But when you're always asking, it is likened to a child that is always asking the parents, daddy, this, I need this, I need that, and I need that. That is a sign that they don't really understand. They don't even care if you have or you don't have. All they want is just meet my needs. So if your prayer point is always revolving around asking God every single time you have the opportunity to talk to Him, then your prayer point or your spiritual life is shaky. Next point is your vocabulary, your word vocabulary. A lot of people struggle to quote scriptures, not because they don't have the opportunity to, but because they don't literally know it. They are faced with challenge. They can comfortably quote just 10 scriptures without glancing through their Bible. That is a sign that your spiritual life needs upscaling. So this is a tool to measure your spiritual life. So when you look, like, you can't say more than 10 scriptures without glancing through the Bible to be sure if you're not making mistake, then your spiritual life needs to go up. But if you are doing it fervently without stress, you can quote 20 to more scriptures without making mistakes. Even when you are praying, it pops up in your spirit mind. Then you are on the right track. The last point is your prayer life. Some people cannot pray for 5 minutes. It's a sign that their spiritual life needs urgent attention. When you can pray for long and you enjoy praying, not just because you are praying because you need something to be done by God, but you are praying because that is what you enjoy doing. That way, your spiritual life is healthy. If you do this, you will notice that you are already making headway. So your prayers will determine, prayer is a communication with God. Prayer is not a point where you turn God into an ATM machine, or you make Him start giving and you're the only one collecting. You're the only one collecting and He's just busy giving. God did not create you to come to this earth to be collecting, and while your job is just to be asking Him and asking. There are better ways. There are better ways to understand His mind. So your prayer life will always determine, will give an indication of a person's spiritual state or life. If it's up, if it needs urgent attention, or is zero. If it's zero, then you need to ensure That you just have to upscale. Now, I used to say, pray when you don't feel like praying. Why? Because the devil is about to do something. Pray also when you feel like praying, because God is about to do something. In all, you just need to pray. So these are the several factors or the measuring instrument to check your spiritual life, if they are doing well, or if they are healthy, or if they need intervention. First one is the kinds of prayers you enjoy, your prayer points. What are your prayer points like? Do you always ask God, or you just want Him to show His glory, or you just want to know Him more? So, your kind of prayer points will determine your level of spirituality. The second point is the word. How loaded are you with the word? Can you quote 10 to 5? Can you quote 10 to 20 scriptures without mixing it? Your prayer life. Your prayer life, of course, if you can't pray for 5 minutes, you need to check it. If you can't pray for 10 minutes without feeling distracted and you still want to pray more, then your prayer life needs urgent attention. This is for believers all over the world. If you find this video helpful, do well to share, click like, and subscribe. Thank you.